Suspected of being a victim of bullying and extortion in a military camp, can Jungkook get support after Jimin uncovers evidence of mistreatment? Senior soldier officially thrown in jail. The silence of the South Korean entertainment world was recently shaken by the shocking news involving two BTS members, Jimin and Jungkook, who are currently serving their military service. A major scandal erupted after Jimin publicly shared video evidence showing the mistreatment Jungkook received at the military camp. What exactly happened? Who is behind this unspeakable act? And is justice finally on Jungkook's side? The news came as anonymous reports surfaced on social media about the harsh treatment Jungkook was subjected to while serving in the military camp. Jungkook, who is currently serving as a military cook, was reportedly the victim of bullying, blackmail, and mistreatment from a senior soldier. The allegations surfaced after Jimin, a groupmate and close friend of Jungkook, published a video of the evidence that shocked the public. In the video, it is clearly seen how Jungkook was physically and verbally abused by a senior soldier. Not only that, there are strong allegations that Jungkook was also the target of extortion for a large amount of money. The question is, how can such an act take place in a military institution that is supposed to uphold the values of discipline and honor? Jimin's decision to publish the video reaped pros and cons. In a post on social media, Jimin stated that he could no longer be silent to see his best friend being treated inhumanely. As a soldier and a friend, I have a moral responsibility to stand up for what is right, Jimin wrote in a post that went viral. However, the move also drew criticism from some quarters who considered Jimin to be violating military ethics by leaking internal information. Regardless, many fans and netizens praised Jimin's bravery, calling it a heroic act to protect Jungkook. It didn't take long for the military to follow up on the case. After an intensive investigation, the military trial finally ruled that the senior soldier involved in the case was found guilty. The evidence presented, including video from Jimin, became the main cornerstone of the decision. Punishment is not a joke. The senior soldier was not only obliged to pay a large fine, but also sentenced to imprisonment. Military courts affirm that actions like this will never be tolerated in a military setting, regardless of the rank or experience of the perpetrator. After this news emerged, support for Jungkook and Jimin poured in from all over the world. The hashtag #Justice for Jungkook has even become a global trending topic on Twitter. The fans expressed their sympathy towards Jungkook, who had to face ill treatment in a place that was supposed to protect him. Little praise was given to Jimin for his bravery. He is not only a great friend, but also a hero to Jungkook and to all of us, a fan wrote on Instagram. However, although the case has ended up on the green table, some questions still arise. How could such an act escape the scrutiny of the military? Are there other victims who have suffered a similar fate but have not dared to speak out? And most importantly, what steps will the military take to ensure this kind of incident does not happen again in the future? More surprisingly, the video Jimin shared turned out to show not only acts of violence against Jungkook. In the recording, conversations are heard that indicate that this act of bullying has been going on for quite some time and may involve more than one perpetrator. This sparked speculation that the case was only the tip of a larger iceberg. The South Korean military immediately issued an official statement stating that it would tighten surveillance to prevent similar incidents in the future. "We are committed to creating a safe and comfortable environment for all soldiers," a military spokesman told a news conference. Meanwhile, Big Hit Music, the agency that houses BTS, also gave full support to Jungkook and Jimin. In a statement, the agency confirmed that it will continue to monitor the condition of the two artists during their military service and is ready to take legal steps if necessary. This news serves as a reminder that even in a tightly regulated institution like the military, there is still room for serious misconduct. However, with Jimin's courage and public support, justice eventually sided with Jungkook. Will this be the beginning of major changes in South Korea's military system? Or is it just opening the door for more victims to speak out? What is clear is that this case has shaken the foundations of the military institution and brought the world's attention to the issue of bullying in an environment that is supposed to be a refuge. What do you think? Is Jimin's action to publish the video correct? Or is there a better way to handle this case? Give your opinion in the comments. Jimin's courage in dismantling this case has won praise from many parties, but not a few also question his actions. Some military experts and legal observers said Jimin's move to make the video public could be considered a violation of military ethics. Within the military, there are strict rules regarding privacy and the dissemination of internal information. What Jimin did, even with good intentions, has the potential to set a bad precedent that endangers the operational secrecy of the military, a military observer said in an interview with local media. However, Jimin's supporters argue that such actions are a form of struggle for justice. If Jimin doesn't dismantle it, who will? Will we allow these inhumane acts to continue only because of rigid rules? Wrote a netizen on Twitter, sparking a heated debate in the comments. In the latest development that further heated up the situation, there are reports that the families of the guilty senior soldiers are planning to take legal action against Jungkook and Jimin. They alleged that Jimin's video had damaged their family's reputation and threatened the soldiers' future. Our son is already serving a sentence in accordance with the decision of the military court. However, the dissemination of this video has defamed his good name in the eyes of the public. We have the right to demand compensation for the losses we have suffered, a family representative said in a controversial statement that immediately came under fire from netizens. Many fans denounced the move, calling it a shameless act. How can they sue the victim? Aren't they the ones who should apologize to Jungkook? This is completely absurd, wrote a fan on Instagram. Another issue that further aggravates the situation is the alleged conspiracy behind this case. Some netizens suspected that the senior soldier was not the only perpetrator, but simply the scapegoat of a larger bullying system within the military. Jungkook may not be the first victim. If we look at the other pieces of evidence that have emerged, there seems to be a systemic pattern that allows this to continue, wrote an online forum user claiming to be a former member of the military. This speculation was further strengthened after several former soldiers claimed to have been victims of similar bullying, but did not dare to report it. Will Jungkook's case be a door opener for more victims to speak out? Or will all this be reburied by an entrenched system? The controversy also raised big questions about the future of Jungkook and Jimin's careers after their enlistments. Some entertainment industry observers predict that this incident could be a double-edged sword for both. On the one hand, they were seen as symbols of courage and justice, which could strengthen public support. But on the other hand, this scandal can be a burden on their careers, especially if certain parties constantly try to drag them into legal problems or negative public opinion. The entertainment industry is very sensitive to controversy. Even if they are innocent, the label attached to this scandal can last a long time, said a media observer. However, BTS fans are confident that their support will be able to overcome any obstacles. Jungkook and Jimin have shown extraordinary courage. We will always support them no matter what happens, an ARMY official wrote on Twitter. This case isn't just about Jungkook or Jimin. It's a reflection of a larger problem in the military system. Bullying in the military environment is not new, but it is rare for cases like this to receive great attention from the public. Will this lead to major reforms in South Korea's military? Or will all this be just temporary news that is simply forgotten? What is clear is that Jungkook and Jimin's courage has opened the world's eyes to this problem. Now the question is, will the authorities actually take steps to change the system, or instead choose to cover it up? What do you think about this controversy? Is Jimin's move to leak the video right? Or is it just muddying the atmosphere? Has justice for Jungkook really been served? Write your opinion in the comments.